All right, this is the 2026 Hyundai Palisade SEL Convenience in the Ecotronic gray color. Of course, the Hyundai Palisade was redesigned for the 2026 model year, and it really looks good, and looks even better in person, frankly. And especially from the rear, where, dare I say, it looks like an L405 Range Rover. So from the back, obviously, it spells Palisade. You get the H-Track badge. That means it has all-wheel drive. Of course, we have LED taillights here. These are the taillights and brake lights. These here are your turn signals. Down here are the reverse lights. And these here are the parking sensors right there. And over here, these function as the daytime running lights and the turn signals. And these are the actual headlights. These are the low beams and these are the high beams. And these things here are the active grille shutters. These will open up when the car needs to cool down, and they will close for aerodynamic purposes. And this SEL Convenience trim is, of course, sitting on 235/65 R18 tires. Now, let's pop the hood. Under the hood, we get a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 with 287 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. Later on, there will be a hybrid available, a hybrid 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that'll deliver like 329 horsepower, and I don't remember how many pound-feet of torque. I will add that into the video, of course. But in the all-wheel drive configuration, this will deliver 18 miles per gallon city, 24 highway, 20 combined. The hybrid will deliver in the 30s, but that hasn't officially been rated by the EPA yet. Of course, stepping inside, we do have these nice silver accented roof rails. We also have these mirrors here with turn signal indicators right there and blind spot monitoring. And stepping inside, of course, we do have this nice soft leather. I think it's a leatherette on this trim, actually. But stepping on in, it's very quiet in here. Looking at the door panel, you do have automatic up, down for both the driver and for passenger. The rear two windows are just up and down. You just have to hold them. And then this is the child lock for the back two doors. And looking over here, we have the fully digital 12.3-inch gauge cluster. As you can see here, it'll show notifications at the right and some customizable information in the center and the speedometer on the left. When it's actually functioning, it'll show the tachometer here. Now, these are your mirror controls, as well as which mirror it's controlling. And this grab handle for the door is actually pretty good. You can fit anything in there, really. Looking at the steering wheel, these 4 dots are actually H in Morse code. Over here, these buttons are for the adaptive cruise control and lane centering, and you can use this to control this knob here and that button here to control the center of that display. Whereas these buttons here, mode for AM FM and for voice commands, tuning, you can use this to control the volume and press in to mute. And this is your programmable button on the steering wheel. You can press and hold that to change whatever it does. And this is to take or receive a call. Now over here, we get the engine stop-start button on the shifter, of course. And of course, that brings us to the shifter. How do you change gears in this thing? Of course, you move it toward you to go into reverse, move it away from you to go into drive, and press this button to go into park. And this is for auto hold for the parking brake. This is interesting. If you hit terrain, the drive terrain button, this will actually change your terrain modes. Whereas if you hit it again, it'll go back to drive modes. I find that interesting, actually. Now, looking at this is actually a 12.3-inch screen that does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is actually pretty interesting, and it has good response times for my use using it. And we, of course, do have an actual volume knob, contextual buttons down here, seek track, another programmable button, which you can press and hold that to change what it does, and then set up an actual tuning knob, and then hill descent control, parking sensors on and off, and then press this and the backup camera or 360-degree camera will turn on, even when you're not in reverse. And then down here we get dual zone or tri-zone rather, automatic climate control. Over here we get two knobs. Press in on it, you get automatic. Over here, press this, you sync that temperature with the driver's temperature. Now we get down here, storage along with a 12-volt port. And then over here, get some nice trim, 3 USB-C ports, a wireless phone charging pad, 2 cup holders, some storage actually, an auto-dimming rearview mirror, SOS button, blue ink, then you get your, interestingly, there are touch buttons for the interior lighting, then controls for the sunroof, which is a standard size sunroof. On the upper trims like the Calligraphy or Limited, you'll get another sunroof back here just for the second and third row. So speaking of the second and third row, oh wait, I forgot. Here's a glove box. You do get some storage up here, as well as some storage in the glove box, of course. Let's hop back into the second row. Of course, we do get some pretty nice things in the second row. We do get USB-C ports in each seat. We get map pockets for both the driver's side and passenger side. We get our own climate controls, as well as a button to talk to the front. How convenient. And these blank buttons there are just for the heated and ventilated seats that you can get for the second row, but this trim does not have that. And we also get second row sunshades. Nice. We of course get window control. They're not one touch automatic up down. And we do get a cup holder here. We do have a blank area on upper trims. We get a household style power outlet, and like the Santa Fe, you get this drawer essentially for hidden storage, which is completely inaccessible up here. And of course, if you're wondering what that is, this is for the safe exit assist. So if someone is trying to open their door while a car is coming, it won't let them, or it'll alert them, one of the two. And of course, we do get a recline function and a function to move the seat back and forth. As seen, you can recline the seat. Now, hopping back into the third row, which I will demonstrate, here's how you do it. You can press either this button or this button. And I have to hold it for a bit. And it's actually pretty neat. It'll actually move out of the way in a manner where you can actually keep a front-facing child seat latched in place. But of course, hopping back in here, you do get cup holders and USB-C ports, and of course our own air vents. Nice. Just like up there. Speaking of room back here, my knees aren't touching the back of the seat, unlike some competitors. And I'm mainly thinking of the Honda Pilot that's closest to this in my experience, where my legs are not touching the back of the seat. I thought it was an illusion at first, but I sat in several more of them and same result. And this Palisade, obviously in terms of room, is basically an improvement upon the previous generation. As seen with not just third row room for adults that are 6 feet tall, but also with the ability to move the second row out of the way, even with forward-facing child seats in place. Honda and Toyota can really take a lesson for that. So, looking at the cargo area, you can actually press that and it opens up. And you get a pretty good amount of space with the third row folded, as seen there. And you get a 12-volt power outlet. And you even have the ability to fold down the second row from back here. Which expands the cargo area even more. And looking at the hatch, you have the ability to close or lock and close the hatch. So we're going to get to that in a minute. Looking under here, we have a tire iron, or rather a scissor jack, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the hell these are. Anyway. If you found this helpful, if you did, then please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time.